Hey guys, it's me. It's Ashley on the reel. I know this is impromptu. I didn't plan on this, but I got something very provocative and very life affirming, and I felt like I needed to share it. I just came out of the bath, and sometimes I do a lot of meditation or read books, etc. And I got a lovely message that I wanted to read out because I think sometimes a lot of us are, asking ourselves like, how do I know God's with me? Or do I connect with God? Or am I able to connect with God? And I think that this message is going to help those right now. Maybe this message is for you. So I was in the bath and I was under the water. Not that I've never been underwater before, but in that moment I was just under the water and the bubbles were just like hazing over my face. And I thought to myself, like I could hear my heart beating. I could hear, just the solitude under the water. And I could hear my lungs filling up and dissipating and filling up and dissipating. And I started having this thought process. And I wanted to share in this because God kind of stepped in when I was thinking about this and relate something to me. And then after the bath, I had another aha moment that I need to share as well. And it all ties in. And if you're someone who's looking for some solace, like this is where it's at. Okay. So I'm just going to read what I wrote right after because you got to keep it live and fresh in your mind and write it down. So here we go. So God is expressed in many ways: the unmoved mover, the Almighty, the source, or even creator. How I express this to myself is that God is much like breathing. Air is such a weird thing. It's a concept. It's a weird concept, we are told. It's there, we can't see it. Yet we rely on this knowledge that our lungs fill up with it, the air, right? It is vital, it is life, it is the breath of life. Much like that breath, you can't see your knowledge. Like you can't actually see the knowledge, meaning the air, that innately and instinctually happens. You rely on this belief that you can do it again and again. You would cease to exist, frankly speaking. God is that air. You can't see, but you must know it is. Therefore, it would be neutral that breath as a sustenance, the breath, the body, the all belong to this place of knowledge. So I was being shown this like when I was breathing in and out because it was like something so profound in the sense that like from when we're, born till the right now as I'm talking to you, we breathe in and breathe out this substance that we're told by science exists, right? But I mean, in our day to day, we don't like look at it unless it's like cold and it's just visible, right? Or if like hot condensation hits a window, we think about it. But we don't think about the breath that way. We don't think about it. We just know it innately is. And that knowledge is so key to our vitality. It is so key to our existence because without it, we would cease to breathe and cease to exist. So it's like in a way, like the same faith and it's blind and the same knowing that we have about our air that we breathe is much like that understanding of what and who or the I am is in our everyday. And it's through the breath because in a sense, we don't know why we perceive it to be true knowledge to us. But from the moment we're born, we accept that knowledge that we can do this again and again, right? So I was really taken aback by that because I was like, wow, that's so powerful. It's so, I wouldn't even put the word simple, but it's like the actual action of us just knowing and believing is what's so amazing about it because it is something that we just do. We don't even criticize it or look at it or think about it truly. And it was just that correlation of understanding that God is our breath, the breath we breathe in a sense of life. Like it wouldn't be the same without it. Like it would all fall apart should that knowledge slip through our fingers, let's say. And then like right after I had thought like, oh, I'm going to go look at scripture because I truly thought that there were lines to do with that breath of life statement that was coming through me when I was interacting with this amazing download. And when I did that automatically, obviously, if I go to the Bible, right, like I there's no glossary where I could like, oh, breath of life, where am I going to find? So I always go to the internet. to find the passages, etc., and then go look them up and read them. But I didn't even get that far, because when I put in the word breath of life, the first thing that came up, and I found this so astounding because I had seen these letters before, but I had never thought of it this way. Okay, I never thought of it this way. So the first thing that popped up, and you can look this up on Google if you put like breath of life, right? Or like, anyways, God and breath, you'll get, so YH stands for breathe in, and WH stands for breathe out. So the breathing in and breathing out. Now, if you're not familiar with these letters and what they mean, there was a point in ancient Hebrew that there was no vowels. And even, you know, if you can understand this not having vowels, this represents Yahweh, or what the Judaic spelling would have been back then. And I mean, it's even older than, let's say, closer to Yeshua's time. This would have been a little older than that. Probably, you know, when they created the Torah and the Pentateuch, this would have been the way it would have been scribed out without the vowels. So it made me think, I was like, what if, you know, humans just got a hold of this concept or this word and put it into one word, but really it was meant to be, in a sense, like two different actions, right? Or the essence of what God is. And I started thinking to myself, I was like, wow, what if like humans just twisted the whole idea and it was never meant to be a person or a being? It was meant to be an essence of life itself. It was meant to be the essence of God. And I feel like that's why like it stuck to its truest nature, which was Yahweh, meaning breathe in, breathe out, the breath of life. So I found that really, really cool right after. And I was like, wow, like what if it's just a concept of examining and really strengthening that depth of knowledge and awareness that God is never without us, or it's always in us, is us. We are it and it is us, or the I am is within us, because we breathe that existence into being, you know, and God is the one who, you know, provides that from the beginning. And what was actually really interesting, because when I started looking up this saying and like where it actually like really truly started originating from, it was more of how the people saw the first breath a baby takes, like the first cries a baby makes would be like the Yahweh. Like that's the sound that the Jews described it as, like that first cry out that a baby does, its first breath. So maybe it was just to showcase and highlight that representation of God's, like that innate knowledge that God's essence entered at that moment of breathing in and breathing out for the first time. You can see that we were always with God, and we will continue until we cease to. That's all I really had to say. If you do like what I'm saying, please like, please share, please subscribe. I hope this is an affirming message for someone out there that feels like maybe they haven't connected. Just know that you're always connected. And I hope that this instance brings you a little closer. Bye for now.